In this video, I want to show you how to make a face out of clay. We're going to be using Crayola Model Magic. I like it. It's not real messy. It's very light. It air dries, so you don't need any special tools for it. And you can make a lot of different things with it. So we're going to make a relief face. A relief means part of the surface is raised up above the rest. And this particular face we're going to either make into a snowflake, like this, when we can add the white Model Magic to snowflakes that we've cut. You could also, I also use this to make a sun, where we can either use colored Model Magic for the sun's face, or we can make the sun out of white Model Magic and then just paint it whatever color we want it, and then add the construction paper background. Here's one where I've done yellow sun, and here's one that I've painted red. So to start this project out, I'm going to take my Model Magic, and I've gotten small packets, just enough to make one of those faces that I showed you, and I'm going to start out by cutting both ends. And then I'm going to flip it over. You can either just pull this apart, or if you can't do that, you can just slide your scissors in there and just cut it along the seam, so that this Model Magic is open, and you can take it, and if anything stuck to the paper, just take it and tap it. You get all of that off. In my classes, I have my students write their name with a Sharpie marker or other permanent marker right on there. So I'll write my name. That way, when it dries, I will know what student made it. Alright, so I'm going to take my Model Magic, and I'm just going, you could pull this apart, but I'm just going to cut it apart. So I cut it into 2 pieces. And then I'm going to take 1/2 and I'm going to cut it again. So I have 2/4 and 1/2. I'm going to take my bigger piece and 1/4, and I'm going to add the 1/4 to the 1/2. So I'm using 3/4 of my clay for the background and 1/4 of my clay to make the details. And I'm just going to knead this together so that the pieces become one piece. You'll notice as you knead it, it feels more sticky. We don't want it to dry out or the pieces won't stick together, so I want it to be a little sticky. Just a couple of seconds there kneading it, about 30 seconds or so. And then I'll form it into a ball. You could either roll it in your hand, or you could roll it on the table. Now I'm going to build it right on here so that it doesn't get stuck to the table. So I'm going to put it there above my name, and I'm going to take one hand over the other hand, and I'm going to press it down for about 3 seconds. My students always want to stand up and push really, really hard, and then it gets too flat. So don't stand up, just gently press it down with both hands to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Stop. Now if it's stuck to your hand, like mine is, gently peel it away. And I'm just going to gently press it so it's a little bit more even. Should be about the size of a cookie. And now what I'm going to do is make the edge. So whether I'm making a sun or a snowflake, I want to make the little edges. So I'm going to put my fingers like this, so that I'm going to pinch it from the side. And I'm going to pinch opposite sides. So I'll take my fingers like this, push it into the clay, and pinch it. Don't pinch and pull it, but just pinch it, and then let go. And then I'm going to turn it so that those are at the top and bottom, and pinch it, and let go. Now, between each one of those rays that I've made, I'm going to pinch again. And between these two, pinch pinch again. And then just gently press it out so that it's a little bit more even. And I'm ready to start making the face. The first thing I'm going to do is pick up that other piece of clay that I've been saving, and I'm going to knead it again to make it a little bit more sticky. Just a few seconds of kneading it should be enough. Alright. Now I'm going to be referring to pulling off little pieces, and I always tell my students to pull off a pea-sized piece. So, like the little green peas that you eat, whether you love them or whether you hate them, you all should know how big they are. So I'm going to pull off a pea-sized piece, and I'm going to roll it into a ball and lay it down, and pull off another pea-sized piece. You can compare it to the other one. They should be about the same. And these are going to be the eyes, so I'm going to put those near the top like that. I'm not going to squish them down or anything, I'm just going to sit them on top. Now, I'm going to pull off another piece, roll it into a ball, and this time I'm going to flatten it in my hand until it's about the size of a dime. It should be about as thick as a dime and about as big as a dime, kind of round like a dime. Now I'm just going to sit that off to the side for just a second. And I'm going to take my pencil point and I'm going to put it right in the middle for a pupil. And then I'm going to pick up my dime-sized piece and I'm going to cut it in half so I have a nice straight edge. So you want to keep your scissors handy. And I'm going to put the straight edge on the top. Like that. Now I want to very gently curve it around the top of the eye. And that's my eyelid. I could also put one underneath, but I'm just going to put one on top on mine. Alright. I'm going to pull off another pea-sized piece and roll it into a ball. This time I'm going to roll it back and forth just a little bit until it looks kind of like a big tic-tac. Like that. I'm going to pinch the top a little bit so it looks more like a teardrop now. You can see that. And I'm going to place that right between the tip of it, right between the eyes. Just gently press the top of it, the point. If you feel on your own face, right at the top of your nose, it goes in and the bottom of your nose sticks out. So we don't want to press the bottom, we want to press right there, very gently. You want to have a light touch with this. You don't want to squash things, flatten them out too much. That's the bridge of the nose. Another pea-sized piece. This time I'm going to divide it into two smaller pieces, about half the size of a pea, or very, very small little baby peas. And I'm going to place them on either side like that. Again, don't squash it, just put it on there enough so that it sticks. And we automatically have little nostrils there. These are the sides of the nose, kind of like a cartoon face. Alright, I'll pull off another piece the size of a green pea, roll it into a ball. This time I'm going to roll it back and forth a little bit, like that. And I'm going to put this on the table this time, and I'm going to gently roll it with this part of my hand here. I really don't want to roll it out any wider than my face itself, or it will be too thin. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it right next to the nose, like that. I know it looks funny right now, but in a minute you'll see what I'm doing. but put it right next to the nose. Looks like a really funny smile right now. If you need to move this, don't try to peel it off because it's already stuck. What you can do though to place it where you want it is just roll it. So you can roll it up, you can roll it down. Don't try to take it off, just roll it if you need to move it. Alright, I'm going to pinch off another pea-sized piece. Roll it like I did before. Put it down on the table and roll it out. Just a little bit shorter than the first one. This time I'm going to bend it, do it against the table so you can see. Bend it into kind of like a rounded V shape. And I'm going to put it right next to the first one. And again, you can roll it to get it into shape. Alright, so we have an open mouth. It doesn't look as funny now. So now, after I have the mouth, I will pull off another pea-sized piece and another one. And I'll roll both of those into a ball. These are going to be for the little cheeks. So I'm going to place those on either side of the mouth. This time I'm going to put my fingers on them and just gently press so that I make a little fingerprint mark in them. If you'd like to add eyebrows, we can do that just like we did the mouth. Pull off a little pea-sized piece, roll it into a ball, roll it side to side a little bit, put it on the table, and roll it with this part of our hand. Now I'm going to cut this in half so I can have two eyebrows. Or if you want a unibrow, you can just put it across. You can make expressions with your eyebrows just by how you put them. If you want to put them down like that, you could. If you want them to be more surprised, kind of looks angry like that. Even though he's smiling, kind of looks evil. And you can put them up to make them look surprised. So you decide how you want your eyebrows to be, and you can put them at the top, right above the eyes. Alright, and that's my completed face out of Model Magic. Remember, this is called a relief. It's a clay relief because part of the surface stands out further than the rest of it. What we'll do with this, we'll either let it dry and paint it, or we can just let it dry and use it as white. This will dry overnight, so by the next day, or at least by the next art class, it will be ready to use. We can either paint it and put it together to make a sun, or we can leave it white and we can make a background of snowflakes, and we can make it a snowflake. For the snowflake one here, you don't always have to do this, but I have something called diamond dust that I put a little coating of glue on top of my Model Magic once it dried, and then I dusted it with diamond dust, so it's kind of like a clear glitter to make it look a little bit more like snow. For my sun, I just cut out some layers of construction paper and I just use markers to decorate that.